Hello again, or perhaps hello for the first time. In this video, I'd like to take a tour of KH1's Wonderland, likely the first Disney world most people visit in the series. It's an interesting one for sure. In fact, I'd say it was an odd choice to include Alice in Wonderland in the game, but I'm glad they did for reasons I'm going to go into as I explore. So let's get started and see how deep the rabbit hole goes. Okay, so here we are in the rabbit hole, and well, if we just take a look around, you see all the stuff you'd expect. I mean, I'm pretty sure it looks mostly like this in the film, but it's kind of nice to just look up because you don't really do that usually. You just see them fall through, but it's all there, you know. That's not just for the cutscene, and that's kind of a creepy black hole at the top. That's yeah, it doesn't look like daylight up there. I do also wonder if the gummy ship is like parked up there and they just fell down. But yeah, you know, it's pretty cool. It's pretty neat. It's pretty wacky. It's very Wonderland. But what's kind of interesting here more is, well, there's the floor and there's like objects drawn onto the floor, which is a bit weird. Like, why is the sofa just drawn on? More Wonderland shenanigans. There's gonna be plenty of that in this world. And yeah, you may notice the chest. I forgot to do the fight. You can fight some Heartless here a couple of times, and when you fight the second wave of harder Heartless, you get the second chest, and I hadn't done that yet, so there's one thing I missed completely. It shows how easy it is to miss things in this game. But yeah, you know, no, you can't light those on fire. Damn, can you imagine if that'd be so cool if I discovered that? But yeah, otherwise there's not too much of intrigue here. It's mostly just, you know, it's a Disney film. It's what you expect. There's another black void at the top there, which is a bit creepy. But Wonderland's got that going for it. It's kind of a amusing, but also a slightly weird, creepy element to it. There's just something about it. Okay, let's just get into the Bazaar Room now, because this is obviously the centerpiece of the world, like that flower says. And yeah, this is definitely the most interesting part. Is it kind of just looks like a normal room, right? You come in here the first time, you're big, and it's just this room. And obviously, you probably know you can shrink, but I just like that you can explore most of these walls. You don't know straight away. It doesn't really hint that you can, other than maybe that one little hole at the top right. Up there's a painting. We're going to look at that a bit later because that's kind of interesting actually. But you know, what's really cool about this room, I think, is that obviously in the film, the room with the doorknob in it, it's not like this. It's just like an empty room with the table appears and everything. So they really went out of their way to make something new out of what the film showed us. I think I really do appreciate that a lot, actually. And they still kept the whole mechanic of growing and shrinking, and that's obviously an important thing to include. Stuff that kind of matches with the world, stuff you can interact with. You've got this book over here, which I've already done the puzzle, so it just says, oh, nothing of importance is written. It's a shame. And yeah, look, just like, I mean, I've done all these already, so I don't really need to do them again. But this sort of thing, I just, you know, this sort of interactivity, you know, I always like it in Kingdom Hearts, and this world is just full of it. So okay, let's drink the potion and get small and have a bit of a closer look around, I guess. And now we get to explore this room from a whole new perspective, and I think that's pretty neat. You can come over here and see the book flattened or up or whatever, which way it is. See the bear be bigger than yourself after you just moved it previously. I don't know, I think it's pretty cool. I mean, even over here, look, you just glide up to here and you can, obviously you come here a bit later. Well, I say later, earlier in the game, when you have to try and get a piece of evidence, so that's pretty cool. There's a lot of rabbit imagery as well, as I'm sure you can notice. They include a lot of white rabbit stuff to try and flesh out a room which doesn't exist usually. So you even look at the bottles. I mean, in the film, it's a bottle and then like the candy that she eats to get bigger again. But here we've just got two bottles instead, and you can see like the plant go into a tree, so like that's to grow, and then the other one is to shrink. I don't know, that's kind of cool. And yeah, let's go into the Queen's Castle, because this is where stuff gets kind of weird and interesting. I mean, we've got loads of NPCs for Kingdom Hearts 1 standards, loads of NPCs to talk to here, and if they don't have much interesting to say, except for the fact that they do have something else to say once you get to a certain point in the game, and they talk about the darkness growing and stuff. That's kind of weird. But also just look at this, it's a box. The Wonderland in KH1, I mean just Wonderland in Kingdom Hearts, it's got this like, it's a boxy room thing going on. Like it's inside of a house or something. It's not like it is in the film. I assume like technical restraints mean that they couldn't exactly make it, they wanted to make a way to make it wacky, right? So to do that without breaking the technical restraints they have, they did this box room thing. There's some roses that aren't painted red. And yeah, it's a bit weird. Do I like it? I mean, I think it works well enough. I think it would be kind of nice if it... I don't know, I do think it makes it look a bit strange. It's not really the proper Queen's Castle and everything. But at least Days does add like a natural hedge maze, doesn't it? So that's kind of cool. And yeah, these guys have just got their lines to say. Like, they've given them so many lines. There's a lot of detail to do, to be honest. They really didn't need to. But yeah, as far as the box thing goes, it's tricky because other worlds in Cage 1 don't have these box rooms, right? They have places that are supposed to look like real places. Wonderland doesn't look like a real place, I guess, but I don't know. It's a weird choice. I can't say I fully, like... I don't dislike it. I'm not sure I love it either. I think it works well enough. It's okay. And there's us shouting at me. But yeah, I mean, look, that's supposed to be a castle, you know? It's a bit underwhelming. Yeah, it's a bit underwhelming if you're really interested in seeing like the Queen's Castle, like fully. But it's not too bad. I like that crown is very, just looks like the Kingdom Hearts crown a bit there without the holes. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, this is pretty basic stuff. It's the middle room. It's the room that you go from one bit to another. This is where it's actually more interesting. But I better kill off the Heartless here first. Alright, so the Lotus Forest I find is quite interesting. I like that it and the Bizarrum have this duality, kind of, where they both work with each other mechanically. So you can get from one to the other, and there's like, you open up different routes. I do really like that, actually. I think that's quite cool. And I just think about how it doesn't really make sense, but it's okay because it's Wonderland. Like, you walk through a gap, like there's black holes. You walk through a black hole and you end up coming out in a Bizarrum somewhere with different gravity. It's like, does that make any sense? Does that really make sense in terms of a world you can like build in your head, a map in your head? No, it doesn't really. But it's okay because it's Wonderland. It doesn't need to make sense. This is exactly what you're kind of looking for. And this one's definitely the platform heavy room, I guess, of this world, if we were to choose one. You've got these mushrooms to jump on. You've got everything seeming pretty natural, and it's quite nice. There's a hole. I don't know which hole to go through first either. Like, there's too many choices, man. And of course, you've got the grow and shrinking mechanic here as well, but with the nut this time. And the flower, which you have to give up a potion. So, you know, there's more of that. I think using that mechanic in a slightly more puzzle way is definitely a nice thing that they added here. But yeah, and again, the boxy thing going on. Do I completely agree with it? I don't know about that, because you could have still made it just a forest that you can't get through, kind of like deep jungle, but I mean, they went for it. Oh, and in there is the little secret room you can get to, which obviously we'll go to a little bit later. I already mentioned that in the Hidden Treasures video though. Yeah, and of course these flowers, quite interesting, their mechanics, you know. Give them something, they give you something in return. You seem like you're potentially wasting something, and maybe you are if you don't like the reward. Ah, there's more Heartless, let's just go through here. So this little secret bit just opens up to here, which you can get to once you get Glide anyway, so it's not like you have to do it. I almost kind of wish it was more closed off, so you had to do the puzzle and you couldn't just glide at once you've got further in through the game. But if you do get it early, you get rewarded for doing so, so I suppose that's not bad. And I guess proof of concept, we should probably give this flower a potion. So alright, here you go. We don't really need it anymore. And yeah, here we are big in this room. I've already obviously done everything in here. But whacking the tree, that's pretty nice. It's not completely obvious. Getting a nut, let's just go small again, because there's nothing else we can do as we're big. Camera messes up a little bit there, but that's fine. Is there anything else? I mean, oh yeah, there's a hint about the Bizarrum. Of course, that's where the Trickmaster appears later on. And, you know, the designs, the little, whatever they are, leaves and reeds. I think they're pretty nicely made. Honestly, it's a pretty nice room. I won't say there's too much to look at detail-wise here, though. It's all pretty self-explanatory. So let's just go up here and get into another part of the Bizarrum, I guess. Yeah, well, let's just go in here. Couldn't make my mind up. Ah, yes, so this leads to this side. Oh, I gotta kill off these Heartless again. Well, I mean, that was quick, but I'll kill off the rest first. Okay, so the actual... we can actually have a look around. And I gotta say, it's really weird when you look at the room from a different angle. I mean, it's not like it's gonna make me nauseous, but like, it's definitely a bit strange. It makes you feel a little bit weird. Like, oh god, I was walking on there earlier. I think it's very well done personally. I really like that. I like this mechanic. It's probably my favorite thing about this world is this whole making so many different areas out of one room and having a different gravity and different perspectives and using that for puzzles. I mean, that's just great. I just think that's a really great idea they had here. And as you'll see when I sort of give my conclusion, I think that's why, despite some of the problems with this world being how it looks, I think how it feels mechanically is what really elevates it as a world and why I like it so much. Not a lot of detail though, so I guess let's just go back to the Lotus Forest. So this one spits us out over in this corner instead, so that's how you get to there, especially when the gravity hasn't switched and you get the extra, what's it called, the evidence? Yeah, the extra evidence. And I just realised I haven't got this chest. What? How did I miss that? Okay, alright, I guess I forgot to get that. That's number 2 for things we haven't done here. But yeah, it's definitely nice that getting the extra evidence can get you Blizzard early to help with the Trickmaster fight. It's just a little reward for exploring a bit more. Ah yeah, so now we're on this side of Bazarum. Did that make any sense to end up here? Not really, but again, it's Wonderland, it doesn't have to. It seems like we came from down there and now we're up here. It's a bit weird. But yeah, here's another weird angle of the room. This one, oh god, really makes you feel like you're gonna fall. You know, it just defies your expectations. Alright, I said I want to talk about this because I don't know how many know, but this is actually like a picture recreating a scene from the movie. It's the Walrus and the Carpenter song. And yeah, that the sun and the moon there kind of turn into Tweedledee and Tweedledum's faces. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. That's a little reference to them since they're not actually in the game as characters. Yeah, this lamp is pretty lit. I can't, damn it, no. I don't even know why I tried. I know that doesn't work. I gotta try every, like, fire there is in the game now to see if Blizzard will put it out. But yeah, this seems to be a bit of an invisible wall over here. Unfortunately, can't really jump up there. We can walk along these. There's the bear, obviously, we let loose, which you let loose from this room up above, which again is really cool. You can't jump into there, unfortunately, but you can jump into some holes, like in both variations, or whatever variation of the room you're in, you can go in the hole. I think that's pretty cool. I guess we should go through this painting though, because this is going to take us into the secret room of the Lotus Forest. Great little room here. We already saw it from the outside. Get a few things that you don't have. Flowers you can talk to. Yeah, I didn't re-equip my elixir. Yeah, I don't really need it, but... Oh yeah, why aren't we using Lady Luck? I should really... Come on. That would be more apt for this world, wouldn't it, than Sephiroth's weapon. There's the flower I mentioned. Forrest says, well, you know, it's almost like developers pat themselves on the back, like, yeah, you know, we made an interesting level here, we made an interesting world design, and there we go, there's that, of course, which I've already done, but what have I talked about before? Using magic on the environment, something KH1 does really well, makes the magic feel really cool, makes the environment feel really cool. I want games to do this more in Kingdom Hearts. Please use mechanics that are not just for combat, but also for exploring. It's just a really great idea in my opinion. You've got this lion thing, maybe a reference to the Lion and Unicorn poem from Lewis Carroll's poem, I'm not really sure. Maybe, if you know what that is, let me know. Goofy, you're in the bloody way. One time, oh, I don't even know which one's the hour hand and which one's the minute hand, so never mind. I'm assuming it's like 12:45. I assume the hour hand's the top one. Yeah, I think that's about it for this side. I think it's probably the most interesting side of the Bazaar Room. And there's multiple different ways of getting into it and out of it. I think that's cool too. So yeah, we can go through here and we end up here in the Lotus Forest. And get over to that corner. I've already got this chest at least. So that's something I didn't miss. I suppose we can look through this doorway as well and see which part this leads us to. Ah yeah, so this is the Tea Party Garden. Yeah, I remember now. So this leads to up here, of course. If you want to get the chest up here before you have glide, there's your way of doing that. And I guess while we're in here, this is the last room of Wonderland. Pretty small world, obviously, and it's all in this boxy shape. Look, again, here's another box. Goofy, please. I think this is a cute little room, a little tucked away corner. It feels very, I mean, Heartless appear if you get the chairs wrong. There's the reference, of course. I think it is a bit of a shame the Mad Hatter wasn't a character since he's so, like, important in Alice in Wonderland. But yeah, I guess it is what it is. You can include everything, and at least the story was pretty tight without him. And he is in the mobile game, I guess. But here's the fun mechanic of sitting down at the right chairs and getting the prizes, or the Heartless appearing and you have to fight, you know, something to do, interactivity. It's not just a room to walk through. So any room that does that to me in KH1 means it's not a bad room, unless it's just something stupid. And there's multiple different, like, it's a small room, but there's all these different paths leading to and out of it, and different ways to get the chests, and if you've got glide, you can skip through some of it, and yeah, this is the main way into it. Tucked away, like, right in the corner of the world. It's pretty cool. I guess we better look at this last side of the bazaar room now. So, here we are on the ceiling of the bazaar room, just to make it even weirder. Yep, oh god, it's weird again. But you can't explore all 6 walls. You can I say walls, all 6 like sides. You can only explore the 4, but the other 2 don't look very interesting anyway. They're just the side walls. I imagine if you could walk on a doorknob as well, that'd be kind of funny actually. Yeah, this one is just where you light the lamps so you can make the Trickmaster appear again. You have to do something. You have to explore. You have to figure your way around, and not everyone likes that, but I loved it, and I still love it. You can't just walk into a room and then the boss appears and you kill it. You've got to make the boss come to you, right? And I do like the setup of it. It's like, oh, it's hiding in the shadows, so turn on the light so it can't hide anymore. And that's pretty cool. And it definitely makes the Heartless, even with the wacky design that the Trickmaster has, it adds a little bit of a creepy element to it and just makes them feel like they really are darkness. But yeah, there's not much to actually look at in the ceiling. There's more carrot designs on the wall, I guess. It's nice that this, like, got this design with slopes and everything, but you know, it's not particularly interesting to look at. And yeah, we end up back here, of course, once we open this latch. Yeah, so I should probably show what actually happens when you go through this door that you can open up in the main bazaar room floor. It said Lotus Forest there. It's not. It's a Tea Party Garden. That's a weird glitch that happens, or error of some kind. It says Lotus Forest, but that's not the Lotus Forest, but that's how you get that chest early on anyway. So I think I came across the last thing I forgot to do here. There's another thing I forgot to do. This tap, yeah, okay, I can turn that and make this pot come up. I was sure, yeah, I did really think, I was sure that pot shouldn't be flat like that, but I was like, can you like do anything with that? Yep, you can turn the tap and make that come up. Another interactivity thing in the world, jeez. And one I forgot to do on my playthrough, I just forgot about it completely. And yeah, you can jump through here. That leads, I'm assuming, another like balcony of the Queen's Castle. Again, once you've got glide, you don't need to do it, so you might not ever see this, and that's kind of why. Yeah, here we are, look. I am also interested to see if you can jump into the pot when the bazaar room's in its like normal state. I'm going to just have a quick look and see if we can do that. Okay, so we glide across. Yep, you can. Oh, that's cool. I like that. That's really cool, actually. But I think we've seen pretty much everything here, to be honest. And oh, now it says Tea Party Garden. It didn't say that when the shadows for the Giga Shadow spawned, so maybe it's to do with the shadows actually. Huh. Because now it says it right and I had the normal Heartless. That is strange. I did not notice that before. But yeah, that I think that really is it now for things here. Of course, if I did miss anything, I usually do miss something in these. Like the Destiny Islands breaking the rock I didn't know about. Someone said that in the comments and I found out about that one. So if there's something interesting about this world that you know about, of course, feel free to comment it below. But from me, that's about it for Wonderland. It's an interesting world. It's actually one of my favourites in KH1 because of the mechanics of it. It's so richly detailed mechanically. Now, is it particularly detailed in terms of what you can look at? No, because the box shapes and everything, they don't allow for too much. It's not the prettiest world, I'd say. I think they did a good job with it, and it's one of my favourites. I think there's certainly more boring worlds in this game and the other games for sure. Obviously, there's a lot of references to the film itself. I don't want to like point out every single one because, yeah, I mean, obviously there's references to the Disney films. That's the problem with doing Disney worlds, is that I can't look at every surface and go, oh, that's in the film, oh, that's in the film, oh, that's in the film. Like, obviously, the whole thing. But with this world, it's actually interesting because a lot of it is new. They had to make up new stuff, like the Bazaar Room. And it's like thematic with Wonderland, but it's not just, oh, these are areas from the film, you know, they're actually some new stuff created, which is very much KH1 way of doing things, is to make it like an abridged version of the film rather than just you're in the film itself. And to put its own spin on it, its own Kingdom Hearts little spin on it. Whatever you think, I know this is a controversial world, some people really like it, some people don't like it at all because it's not maybe the most interesting to look at or anything. I really like it. And especially the mechanical side of it. That's just my opinions on it. But that's it, Wonderland. Usually the first Disney world you go to. But of course, there's a Disney world you could go to first in the game instead, and that's Olympus Coliseum. and that will be my next video. And yep, I am doing Olympus. It's only 3 rooms, but I'm doing it. It won't be a very long video, but stay tuned for that. And of course, thanks for watching.